Alright guys, pretty crazy news. We got some Yu-Gi-Oh! Banned cards coming back, but in a different form. And, well, this card recently just got hit by the ban list by going on not the forbidden list, but on top of that, we've got Yubel support, so this is some pretty big Yu-Gi-Oh! News. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. I never thought we would have gotten Samsara. Well, now it's a different card, but let's see if it's anywhere near as powerful as the one that got banned at some point. Anyways, starting right off, I want to kick it off with the Yubel support. So here is the artwork on the Phantom Nightmare. I think this is the first time we're checking out this. But anyways, let's check out the effects of these cards. So starting right off, we have the Spirit of Yubel, which is a level 10 Dark Fiend effect monster with 0/0, and it says that you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. So the first part of the effect is when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can just special summon this card from your hand. It's a pretty easy summon condition, and it says if this card is a special summon, you get to take one spell/trap from your deck that mentions Yubel and either add to your hand or set it. Okay, that's solid as well. And then on top of that, the third effect is it cannot be destroyed by battle, and you take no battle damage from battles involving this card. But it still can be destroyed by card effect, right? But if this card is destroyed, you get to special summon one of your Yubels that is banished, or that banished, or in your hand, deck, or graveyard. Okay, so basically if they do destroy it, you will get that awesome ability. I think this is a fantastic way. It's just like a battle fader over here. I wonder if people are going to just start taking this in, and then you can just summon some like super boss Yubel. We'll check out the new fusion, which is really weird. I never thought Yubel would be getting fusions. But next up, next up we're going right into the banned card. Well, no, the OG Grinder Golem is banned, but this is Geist Grinder Golem. Here is the artwork on this card. 3,000 attack, 300 defense points, and is going to be a level 8 Dark Fiend monster. So it says that you can only special summon Geist Grinder Golems once per turn. Or you can only summon one of them per turn. Anyways, you can reveal one Yubel. Oh, it's Yubel support? So you reveal a Yubel monster in your hand to special summon this card from your hand to your opponent's field. Then you can special summon the revealed monster to your field. It says once per turn during damage calculation, if this card battles a Yubel monster, your opponent gains 3,000 life points. The third effect is if you special summon Yubel while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card to your opponent's field. Okay, giving your opponent's cards sometimes can be bad because they're just gonna link off with it, but at the end of the day, I mean, potentially, yeah, you have your opponent gain 3,000, which if that, is reversed because it would be healing you, right? That would make the most sense out of it. But at the end of the day, just being able to special summon this card to the opponent's field, I don't know if that's going to be super good. We'll have to wait and see what the other support looks like. Is this also okay? Samsara Regenerating Lotus is also, it was banned, but it recently got changed. But it was banned. Anyways, level 1 Dark Fiend effect, 0/0, and it says that you can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. So the first part is you can attribute this card to special summon a Yubel monster from your deck. I mean, that's a pretty good effect. There's no conditions right there, just straight up summon the Yubel. Second effect is during your opponent's turn, when a monster effect is activated while you control a Yubel monster. As a quick effect, you contribute this card. That effect becomes destroy one Yubel monster on the field. Wow, so you just force them to just pop the Yubel. And then it will obviously get the effect to bring out something else, right? And the third effect is during your end phase, if you control a Yubel and this card is in the graveyard, you can take this card, either add to hand or special summon it. Wow. So this could just keep on coming back, and it's just going to force your opponent to lose out on the effect, right? Very, very good ability over there, so your Yubel doesn't get wrecked by something else. And it's kind of like a Treeborn Frog problem. So I think it's pretty good. It's not really like the other one of the effect, because the other effect of it was where during your end phase, you control no spell trap cards, you special summon it, and the controller would take 8,000 damage. And there was some sort of like loop with it, is my guess, and that's why it's on the ban list, or was on the ban list, but that got changed. All right, so here's probably the insane boss monster. So I'm not sure if this is like a German, or is it just called Yubel Das Ewig Liebe Watcher. Okay, maybe the name will be changed for the TCG, but it looks German to me. Anyways, level 12 Dark Fiend effect monster, 0/0. The materials are one Yubel monster and 1+ effect monsters on the field. Oh, that'd be great for Super Poly, considering you can just bring out any Yubel, right? And then the first part is if this card is fusion summon, you get to inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each fusion material used for a summon. So in the higher end, I mean, maybe if your opponent happens to have like 5 monsters, I guess technically 6 with the extra monster zone, you can burn for like 3k, or like maybe even more if you use your own stuff to OTK them with like what is it, like, it says if this card fuses, so I'm assuming you could just go super poly, bam. I mean, the summoning conditions are Yubel plus any effect monster. Basically, you have instant board wipe, and then you just get a Yubel. So what's the other effects? So it cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Also, you take no battle damage from battles involving this card. Third effect is, if this card battles an opponent's monster at the end of the damage step, you get to inflict damage to them equal to that monster attack, and if you do, banish it. So it banishes the monster. That's actually a pretty good effect. I think Yubel used to like just destroy like the monster, and then eventually you get ones where like they would take the damage. It's been a really long time since I remember seeing Yubel, but it just, a lot of people would run it because it was kind of bait for people, just that were fans of Yubel, but it really wasn't ever super good. But this one is pretty easy in terms of the condition, which is super poly, right? Next up though, Nightmare Pain. As a continuous spell card, it says you can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. So the first part is, during your main phase, you can destroy one dark monster in your hand or face up on the field, and if you do, you get to add one Yubel or one card that mentions it from your deck to your hand, except for Nightmare Pain. While you control any Yubel monsters, all opponents' monsters must attack them if able. Third part is, your opponent takes any battle damage you would take from battles involving your Yubel monster instead. Okay. So this has a little bit of potential. Maybe if you can like summon a bunch of like Dustins or something, and then you can like super absorb, because remember, Dustins give the same amount of cards on both fields. So if you clog up the board with, you know, 5 monsters on your opponent's, 5 monsters on yours, and then obviously one of them does need to go away because you're going to need to bring out the Yubel, that 10 monsters right there, I mean, that's a decent amount of potential damage. And then if they've taken any other damage, you have potential win condition right there, right? Nonetheless, being able to destroy a dark monster in your hand, maybe some other archetypes could make use out of this, you know, whole like destroy effect. I believe Aviraptor is dark, right? I don't know if you're going to be able to do Yubel and some other things, because just being able to destroy Yubel, and dinosaurs just destroy a card with some of the effects. It doesn't have to be specifically dinosaurs, so you have some potential with that as well for some combos. Dinosaur Yubels, guys, let's make it a thing. Anyways, next up we got the Mature Chronicle, which is a continuous spell card that says you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. So the first part is, each time a Yubel monster and or monsters that mentions Yubel is special summoned, place 1 Chronicle counter on this card. Second part says you can remove up to 5 Chronicle counters from cards you control to activate one of these effects. So it says Chronicle counters from cards you control, so that would assume that maybe you can get more. But nonetheless, you have to special summon a Yubel, add one of your banished cards from your to your hand. That could be potentially good. And this one doesn't specify face down. It usually would specify that, right? So that could be pretty good. Primal Seed all over again. Then we have banish 1 card from your deck, destroy 1 card in the field, or add 1 super polymerization from your deck to your hand. I mean, that does require a significant amount. But if anything that mentions Yubel, right? So you can easily just go from this, right, because this mentions Yubel, and then you go into Yubel, and then Yubel will then probably pop and get something else. So that's like 3 cards. It's like 1 for 3. So maybe like 2 or 3 cards will let you get the effect of this. And remember, this is a continuous, so you might have some potential with it. And at the top of that, you can search out the cards, right? And next up, we have the Eternal Favorite. So the Eternal Favorite is a continuous trap card that says, once per turn, you get to activate 1 of these effects, but you can only use each of the following effects of this card's name once per turn. So the first part is to special summon 1 of your Yubel monsters that is banished or in your graveyard. Neither player can activate cards or effects when it is special summoned. And this is a continuous. Wow. That's pretty good. And the other part is, if you control a Yubel, discard 1 card, and send this face-up card from your spawn trap zone to the graveyard to fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extract using monsters from either field's material, including Yubel monster. It's really not that bad. Okay, so I was expecting it to be kind of memes just because, well, I mean, it's like Yubel, right? But this is actually looking pretty good. If they get any more support, it definitely does have some potential to be like an okay-ish deck. Like, I'm not saying it's going to be automatic god tier, because it doesn't have that many negate and destroys, right? That's what you still need in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! And, I mean, it'll be kind of cool for the fans to maybe take a game here or there with the Yubel. Alright, next up, we have another card called the Memento Darkblade. I have no idea what this is coming out in over here. So this is in DBVS. Okay. So anyways, level 4 Dark Warrior effect monster, 1800 attack, 1500 defense. It says you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. The first part is, if this card is normal or special summon, you get to discard a Memento card, then target 1 spell/trap your opponent controls and just destroy it. Second part is, during your main phase, you can destroy a Memento monster you control, and if you do, special summon 1 level 3 or lower Memento monster from your deck. Okay, pretty solid effects overall. Just when you can summon anything from like the deck, well, I guess it has like a limit of like 3 or lower, but that's still a pretty good effect. This is just like other news. They are also coming out with Duelist protectors, and they're also coming out with the Puri little protectors over here. Sometimes when they announce these sleeves and stuff, it's just basically hinting towards more support. And obviously, this is probably not going to be all of the Yubel support, as we only got like another 5-6 cards, and this is supposed to be all about the Phantom Nightmare. So let me know, guys, what you think of the brand new Yubel support. Is it going to be anywhere near meta? My personal thoughts are it's going to be fun for some people that are fans of it, but it's not going to be S tier, at least not right now. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe if you're new so you don't miss out when we cover the rest of Yubel stuff when it does get announced. See you in the next video.